Hi guys. All right, so it's not just me. We just had another bowl game. Actually, quite a few. Today's one of my favorite days of the year because it's all the college football. And I saw Oregon against Wisconsin. I didn't really care about that game as much. I was more interested in Alabama and Michigan because I wanted to root against Michigan. And I kind of don't like either of those two teams. It was kind of the one that I don't like the more. But anyway, I'm happy Alabama won. But going back to Oregon and Wisconsin, whoa, wow. Two pass interference calls, and that was kind of crazy. Now, I want you to pay attention because Clemson, when they beat Alabama the first time, they had that peak play in the end zone and nothing was called. Well, if you go back to this Wisconsin game, I mean, the Oregon guy, Wisconsin had the ball. They were down by one, I think, and the guy was just, I mean, he was impeding the Wisconsin receiver's ability to go anywhere, and he was just on his back, not on his back. He was pretty much blocking him, and then there's another receiver doing his route, and they ran into the defender, but he got called for a pick, and it was crazy because he was being interfered with. How can someone being interfered with actually make a pick? And then there was another pass interference call where Wisconsin just clearly, I mean, the guy just, so yeah, Oregon, and I'm happy you won, Oregon. So, I'm not mad that you guys won. I wish you guys would have won more fair though, more, I wish, and you know what? Those calls aren't as bad as the replay calls. A replay you get to go, like the call against Sean Wade and the fumble against Ohio State, that was awful. Replay could have, replay had to make do something because they had to change the call on the field. You're supposed to have irrefutable evidence, and that just made the replay just horrible. Not, actually go against the calls on the field, and they were the wrong calls. Well, you don't review pass interference, so you got to give the officials a little break. I think there were Big 12 officials. I looked at the officials for the Oregon Wisconsin game, and I was hoping they would be the SEC, just so they could just fit in my little narrative of how the SEC's corrupt. They are corrupt, but they weren't. They were Big 12, and actually, I don't really have anything against the Big 12 officials. They made bad calls though. Now, someone will say, "Well, Wisconsin had all those fumbles and turnovers; they didn't deserve to win." I get so sick and tired of hearing that. It's kind of like, okay, the Ohio State game. They settled for field goals and not touchdowns. They didn't deserve to win. Well, guess what? If the rest would have stayed out of it, Clemson would have got zero. So yes, Ohio State was getting more field goals than touchdowns, but Clemson would have got zero if the rest would have stayed out of it. You know, at the most they would have ended up with 14. So yeah, that argument, well, it's your own fault because Wisconsin, you had five turnovers. Well, yeah, but still, even with the five turnovers, they were in a position to win. That just is so that argument. Well, if this wouldn't happen, you would have won, even though you were clearly cheated. No, when you're cheated, you're cheated. Now it's less egregious than the Buckeyes, and I'm not really going to complain about the Oregon and Wisconsin too much. I mean, it was crazy that Wisconsin got pass interfered with, and then they were called for pass interference. And at the point in that game, I don't think Oregon really would have stopped them. I think there were some bad calls on their coaching staff but yeah, the story of this season's been bad officiating. And ever since the Sean Wade call, and I looked up targeting, I have just paid attention to how many times there's been targeting against every, if you just look at the game and you look at the rules of targeting, and then you, for the letter of the law, you pick, you watch the game and you see who could potentially be ejected because they broke it. It's crazy. That's why referees they can't pick and choose, especially on the biggest stage of them all. Anyway, I didn't really see anything outrageous. Michigan Alabama game, happy Alabama won. Didn't really see anything outrageous in the Auburn Minnesota game, but I admit I really wasn't keeping track of that game too much. I was surprised that Michigan was able to run on Alabama like they were able to, and wow, Minnesota. I thought that was going to be the game where Auburn was going to blow their socks off. The mismatch of the day. Minnesota, they keep on proving me wrong. Minnesota beat Penn State. I didn't expect that. Then they get creamed by Wisconsin. But then I mean, imagine what Wisconsin would have done if they hadn't had 5 turnovers. Oh, I think about Justin Herbert. I'm thinking, is he really one of the top 3 picks? He doesn't really look like it. Now, he had that 30-yard run, but still, I don't know. Anyway, story of the story this year has been bad officiating, and I would like nothing better in college football for this to end by LSU just running up the score and beating Clemson 82-10. I think that would be awesome. Dabo needs to be humbled, I think, and Coach O is a guy that can do it, and Joe fits into that system. I don't know how good Joe's going to be in the NFL level, but anyway, that's all I had to say for this video. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. Thank you.